Peace and blessings, everybody, and welcome to Storytime. Oops, excuse me. Sorry about that. I am at the library right now, actually trying to figure out how to set everything up for Storytime. I was here grabbing a bunch of books, and the time got away from me, so just trying to figure out how to prop up this device so that I can hold the book at the same time. I hope you guys are doing excellent today. I certainly am. Oh, okay, wait a minute. Let me figure this out. Okay, yes, I think that will work. Welcome to Storytime, guys. I hope you can hear me. It is such a magnificent day, and I am happy to be here with you doing story time at the library, one of my favorite places to get books. So, for those of you all joining me for the first time, my name is Miss Bernise, and I do story time to help engage, inspire, and empower people with literacy through books and storytelling. And hopefully, with the hope of inspiring more people to stop and enjoy a good story, you know. And I have chosen a story for today by Eric Carle. This book is called A House for Hermit Crab. And I've read Eric Carle books before, and I didn't know he had so many. So I'm actually checking out quite a few of them today. Um, and I will be reading Eric Carle books probably for the next couple days. So at the end of this live, I'll be making an announcement about story time. So please stay tuned. If you are watching this live now, and or if you are watching the replay, please share this out to at least 5 of your friends so that we can reach as many people as possible so they can enjoy the story along with us. And I hope you enjoy this story. I hope you can hear me. I'm trying not to be loud because I'm in the library. Yeah. Well, here we go. A House for Hermit Crab. Time to move, said Hermit Crab one day in January. I've grown too big for this little shell. He had felt safe and snug in his shell, but now it was too snug. Hermit Crab stepped out of the shell and onto the floor of the ocean. But it was frightening out in the open sea without a shell to hide in. What if a big fish comes along and attacks me, he thought. I must find a new house soon. Early in February, Hermit Crab found just the house he was looking for. It was a big shell and strong. He moved right in, wiggling and waggling about inside it to see how it felt. It felt just right. But it looked so well, so plain, thought Hermit Crab. In March, Hermit Crab met some sea anemones. They waved gently back and forth in the water. How beautiful you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to come and live in my house? It is so plain, it needs you. I'll come, whispered a small sea anemone. Anemone, anemone. Gently, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and put it in his shell. In April, Hermit Crab passed a flock of starfish, moving quickly along the sea floor. How handsome you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to decorate my house? I would, signaled a little sea star. Carefully, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and put it in his house. In May, Hermit Crab discovered some coral. They were hard and didn't move. How pretty you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to help make my house more beautiful? I would, creaked a crusty coral. Oh, coral. Yes, coral. Gingerly, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on his shell. In June, Hermit Crab came to a group of small snails crawling over a rock on the ocean floor. They gazed as they went picking up algae and bits of debris and leaving a neat path behind them. How tidy and hard-working you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to come and help clean my house? I would, offered one of the snails. Happily, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on his shell. In July, Hermit Crab came upon several sea urchins. They had sharp, prickly needles. How fierce you look, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to protect my house? I would, answered a spiky sea urchin. Carefully, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it near his shell. In August, Hermit Crab and his friends wandered onto a forest of seaweed. It's so dark here, thought Hermit Crab. How dim it is, murmured the sea anemone. How gloomy it is, whispered the starfish. How murky it is, complained the coral. I can't see, said the snail. It's like nighttime, cried the sea urchin. In September, Hermit Crab spotted a school of lanternfish darting toward the dark water. How bright you are, said Hermit Crab, excuse me. Would one of you be willing to light up our house? I would, replied one lanternfish, and it swam over near the shell. In October, Hermit Crab approached a pile of smooth pebbles. How sturdy you are, said Hermit Crab. Would you mind if I rearranged you? Not at all, answered the pebbles. Hermit Crab picked them up one by one with his claw and built a wall around his shell. Now my house is perfect, cheered Hermit Crab. But in November, Hermit Crab felt that his shell seemed a bit too small. Little by little, over the year, Hermit Crab had grown. Soon he would have to find another, bigger home. But he had come to love his friends, the sea anemone, the starfish, the coral, the sea urchin, the snail, the lanternfish, and even the smooth pebbles. They have been so good to me, thought Hermit Crab. They are like a family. How can I ever leave them? In December, a smaller hermit crab passed by. I have outgrown my shell, she said. Would you know of a place for me? I have outgrown my house too, answered Hermit Crab. I must move on. You are welcome to live here, but you must promise to be good to my friends. I promise, said the little crab. The following January, Hermit Crab stepped out and the little crab moved in. Couldn't stay in that little shell forever, said Hermit Crab as he waved goodbye. The ocean floor looked wider than he remembered, but Hermit Crab wasn't afraid. Soon he spied the perfect house, a big, empty shell. It looked, well, a little plain, but sponges, he thought, barnacles, clownfish, sand dollars, electric eels. Ooh, there are so many possibilities. I can't wait to get started. And that is the end of this story. I hope you enjoyed this story. It is called A House for Hermit Crab and is written by Eric Carl. So if you'd like to check this book out, I got it from the library. You know, well, that's the name of the book and the author. I hope that this story time encourages you to stop and enjoy a great book. I enjoy Eric Carr books. I've learned a lot about animals just by reading his book. And as a matter of fact, if you have the opportunity to check out this book, in the back of it, if you look here, it has information that teaches about the different animals that were mentioned in the story. The sea anemones, starfish, corals, snails, sea urchin, and lanternfish. And you can read and learn more about these particular animals that live in the sea. And it showed me something about hermit crabs that I didn't even think about. I mean, normally, I knew that they grew and then they changed into bigger shells as they grew. But I guess I wasn't aware of what they do as they crawl along the sea. I guess every creature has a thing that it does. And so it makes me wonder if it actually does this. So I'm gonna see if I can find out a little bit more about the hermit crab. So please share this out. Please remember to click the like button. And if you enjoyed the story, please leave a comment and let me know if there's a story that you would like to hear by a particular author. And I'll do my best to see if I can find it. So, I have decided, so this is my announcement that I mentioned earlier. I have been trying to think about how I can have more story times. And I was given a great suggestion today by someone that I met. And So I'm going to do story time for I'm going to start off adding the additional days during the week. But leave me a comment and let me know what time works best for you. The idea was to have story time at 12 o'clock when people are having lunch, so you can enjoy a good story as you are enjoying a great meal. And also at about 7 o'clock for bedtime. So please leave me a comment and let me know how those times work for you. And or if you have any other suggestions as well. I would love to do more story times. I have plenty of books to read, a library full of books to read, and I'd like to read as many books as possible to continue doing the story time. So until the next time, I gotta be headed back home now with all these books. I will see you all again on Thursday for story time at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will make an announcement of when the new times will be starting. Maybe next week. We'll see. Leave me a comment and let me know. And in the meantime, I'll be gathering more books. Okay? You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you again next time. Peace.